Hello. This is TSdL Top 8. We have Awaken, formerly known as Dark Knight, versus Lukcid, who is using Trainhouse account for this tournament. Let's see the boxes. We have Sissy first pick, which is not too common of a unit these days. Liana and Rosen are much more common, but Awaken the boxes, it's kind of weird because it's 3 tank, 1 healer box. At the same time, it's a Sissy healer, not Rosen. So it's kind of meta, but at the same time, I can't really call it an aggressive box because there's a Boro there. Other than that, all the units are meta. So, but it is pretty aggressive with Archon as well. And for Luxid, very standard with 2 healers and 3 tank box. 2 healers probably because 2 healer with Liana is better when you're P2, and for round 1 or the first match, you don't know if you're gonna get the prio or not, P1 or P2. So he put him in, or he put her in to be safe. So Luxid has a choice here. He can just ban out the tanks if he wants to, or just leave out the tanks and ban out the threats. He already banned 1 tank already, so same for Awaken, he also banned 1 tank, so Luxid could have picked one of the tanks up if he wanted to. But that's not going to help him at all, other than tanking C2, basically baiting her. So both players being aggressive here, except the first pick Sissy is questionable to me. Obviously, Act Again is better as P2, so I'm not sure what first pick Sissy really opens up other than having a pseudo tank, and with units like Jin is pretty good. But we'll see. And he does go for tank setup, interesting. And he does ban out Jin. So it really doesn't make sense to me why he bans out Jin, but picks LB. Lost Him makes sense though, because Lost Him is good on this map. But at the same time, not the biggest threat with his picks right now. He picks up his Lost Him. Could be very useful without a tank. Lost Tank can 3C and stun someone. It's Liana. So Liana is very good as B2 here. Potential first turn initiation. But it is going to get prevented by LB to a degree. Also, it makes it harder for Lost Temp to set up when you act against B2 then. So it ends up being 2 tank and 1 healer, being Sissy first pick. Very interesting. So Sissy is not a good AoE healer, and for single target she just becomes a heal bot, so not too great as a healer here. So best case scenario, I think 2 AoEs from Leon and Lucretia is gonna be very good against Awakened. Sissy's heals are really bad. Inspire's bad. You could bring Mass Heal, but it's not the best either. Because usually Sissy used to use Bracer. So the healing's not too high. You could set something up with Act Again as well. With Leon and Lucretia. And the reason he picked up 2 tanks is because it's gonna counter Crenshaw and Z2 as well. But we'll see. Z2 I assume is gonna bring AoE as well. And Crenshaw I don't think will bring AoE. That AoE is not very good. We'll see what he does. But I would be surprised if Lux is not going for AoEs here. Lucretia's definitely gonna have AoE. Leon might just bring 3C. Nope, he brought AoE, so he is gonna go for those AoEs here. And yep, there's gonna be AoE on C2 as well. 2 AoEs on Lucretia, there's no single target at all. I'm not too sure about that, just because Eunice can get out of tank range and can try to snipe, but this is okay. Do you need mass attack though? You have Liana. In this case, she has 3C that can buff a Lucretia. And then self buff, also faction buff from Grenshaw, and then also self buff. So I don't think mass attack is necessary. You have 3 turn Gospel. I think Sight would have been really nice. But he might not need it. It's gonna be a lot of AoEs and Act Again. So most likely turn 2, when he can set up with the doll, he can go in with Leon, Lucretia, AoE, and then she can jump in as well. So most likely turn 2, stay back for turn 1 against Lost Time. So these tiles are going to be annoying somewhat. Too bad it's not a cav, so that you can get three tiles. Because it could really mess up Zera's jumping in if there's like a 3 tiles, if you're not too careful. And does she have mass heal? Nope. Inspire. It's gonna be barely any heals. So when there's no healing, Lost Time's gonna deal less damage. Although he can heal his soldiers to a degree. So his kill potential is be lower to counter kill. Same for Zerda. Although she can kill a lot of things, even with like low HP soldiers. We'll see. Okay. That kind of changes a lot of things here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, not really. He can just position to dodge that. 1, 2, 3. Top is fine. The bottom part you gotta move. Or the doll and Grandness. The problem is the doll is in range. That's gonna be a problem. But even if Lost Temp comes in, let's see. Comes in, kills the doll. 1, 2, runs away. Kren can counter kill that. I think that's good trade for Lukcid. So I would not do anything like acting again to move it or anything like that. But let's see if he comes in to kill Grenshaw. If you give Gospel to Grenshaw, she's not gonna die, I don't think. as long as you don't get stunned. But we'll see what Lukcid does here. That breeze gotta be annoying though. But even with that breeze, he was in range anyway with the Inspire. But you wouldn't have Inspired the first turn. So yeah, that must be annoying, the breeze. That's why he's taking up his time right now, thinking of different plays he could do. Either way, 2 units are range. You can try to save Grenshaw with Gospel. And just trade the doll for Lost Time. We'll see what happens. Taking a lot of time. More than half of the backup timer is gone. Okay, so he's baiting out with Leon as well, but there's no way he's gonna attack Leon, right? I mean, Leon's tanking against physical, also double horse versus infantry soldier. Very likely not. The thing is, even if Lost Him kills Grenshaw, this is the least useful unit here until Super Late Game, because she doesn't have AoE. There's no way to get through the 2 tanks, so it's okay trade even if she dies, and as long as you can counter kill. But the counter kill is gonna be hard because she doesn't have any attack spells, single target. And if he jumps Zerda in, his Zerda is gonna get counter killed, which might be okay, but still not the best option there. So this all really depends on what Lukcid does with this Liana. So he's setting up now for his Lost Tam once he teleports back to this tree, or even to this guard unit. Okay, so not too sure about this. So what he could do is attach to this. It doesn't change anything. And this is kind of strange because after you kill, you could have teleported back to this tree and guarded it, but I guess he's just gonna remain on this tree. Or right now he's ready to jump. That is also a possibility. Looks like he's going to and kill Gren, which is not a good trade, by the way. And he's gonna block this tree. That's a good move. Stop. Eddie, come. Come. Sorry about that. But either way, so the Leon is there to block the lost him next turn, and he's kind of setting up for his Zerda to come in. What is it gonna be though? You could teleport here, just kill Gran. Gran's not a good trade, you just kill the Zerda off. What? That's a weird play, right? I'm not sure what that does. Okay, so Lux is gonna go in now with Leon and then jump in for the AoE. It might kill a lot of things off, we'll see. I'm not sure the exact range right now. So he's gonna go here. Or like back here. Okay. So not gonna hit Sarah at all. So he did that to prevent himself from getting his act again stolen or blocked. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Okay. Does that kill though? No, it does not kill. So what he could have done really is just not go in, right? I don't think this kills. Oh, it does kill. Okay. It does kill, and he has a choice here. If he counter kills that Z2, the Sissy is going to die most likely. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that Sissy's gonna die, and that's gonna be GG. If he moves Sissy, there's not gonna be secondary AoE coming in, but if he okay. That's GG. That's the wrong move. Zerd already did his part. You definitely want a healer here, right? So one tooth. Oh, he had a breeze anyway. Yeah, that's not a good move. I guess it wouldn't have mattered because he got breeze anyway. So that luck would have reached anyway. But either way, it really came down to Ben pick. You pick Sissy first. There's no Rosen. It just doesn't. It's not a good Ben pick. The Sissy first pick doesn't prevent anything on your side, and you ended up going turtle as well. So let's see if there's some changes. As player 2, I do like Liana choice. I wonder if he's gonna bring 2 healers. The box itself is just weak with the Sissy. The reason it doesn't work is because Sissy is like a tempo unit, but your box is not really aggressive. There's a Naboro there. And she just doesn't negate a lot of the band pick units. Let's say Rosen's high priority ban because it prevents a lot of things from your opponent's box. She's okay as like a side healer, but not as a only healer in the box. That is not a tempo box. Okay, so he swaps out for Rosen. Now he has 2 healers. So instead of someone like Liana, he has Rosen now. And brings in Wadham. Interesting choice. Yeah, I mostly agree, big guy. But just Rosen just so much better because of too many things she can do. But she's not banned. And just Box is just not suitable for Sissy here. So. But he does have Rosen now as a primary. So the reason Liana is good, SP2, more than Rosen. The Rosen first pick does not prevent Awakener. She can still immobilize 2 of the units. That way, player 1 can gain tempo. So this is an easy bait, right? You can pick Awakener and then your opponent picks up Rosen to counter, but it really doesn't counter. And he bet, yeah, this is, so he's going full tempo. He's gonna have a window where he has the map control because Rosen doesn't prevent. So he banned out the tanks. He's going full tempo with C2, so she can jump in when one of his unit goes in. Not to mention, Awakener is not very good against tanks, especially Rosen tank. So it makes so much sense to ban these 2. And it just didn't make sense at all that you brought Wedham and got rid of 3 tanks if you're gonna see the possibility of picking up Rosen first. So he brought out 2 healer, 2 tanks, which doesn't make sense at all. But Rosen's still good, even without a tank. So we get to see Owlboy. He is much better with the tank. And not a jump unit, so it's not going to help Zerida, but at the same time, if he does end up getting a tank, he can zone out units with the Owl. There's no tank to defend against him, so that is good. For the same reason, Lucretia is good when you have a tank. Okay, Annie's pretty good here because your opponent doesn't have a healer. Lucretia and Sagani is gonna be really good here to snipe. He's gonna get guaranteed tank, so he's protected somewhat, but Grant can try to ignore guard, but Lukcid has an extra unit because of Dahl, so it's gonna be really hard. The only good opener is getting an AoE hit from Annie, but most likely he's going to get zoned. So looking pretty good for Lukcid. The goal Dark Knight wants to do is try to land an AoE hit and initiate first before Lukcid comes in. Pretty good zone units here. But first 2 turns, that Diehar is gonna be not going to do much. The mobility reduction from Awakener gonna prevent a lot of things for Diehard. And then he's probably gonna use it on Grand as well, so Lux is gonna have complete map control here. Interesting that it is a Landius pick. What was the other thing? Hilda. Maybe because he's legend, I'm not sure. Well, Hilda's nice for Lucretia buff. But she could always bring mass attack. So in this case, it's gonna be all single target on Lucretia, most likely Scythe and then Ice and then mass attack, something like that. And then she's also going to focus on 2 single targets. Yeah, it's going to be hard for Dark Knight or Awakened first 2 turns. Annie is a zoner, but these 2 units gonna get crippled. He's not gonna do too much. At least he's gonna have faction buff though. The only real threat early on is Annie's AoE. She can't do anything. His mobility's down. He can't do anything, so you just gotta watch out for Annie's Black Hole or 3C. That's the only threat. So he did bring Black Hole. Oh, 3C and Crystal. Okay, that works as well. Yep. As long as Lukcid can open up first 2 turns, snipe something, should be easy. And Awaken wants to, I would say, just move back, play safe first 2 turns. Unless somehow he doesn't move Awakener first, but he does, of course. And then prevent these 2 from moving. Yeah. And that cannot get cleansed by Rosencio. That's why Rosencio's second player first pick is not too great against Awakener. Because your opponent can just go super aggressive and you're just gonna get crippled. Unless you get a tank and just turtle. Well, in this case, he didn't have a 3 tank box, so all of his tanks got banned. This is really good. Because any first turn, she can't do anything. Obviously, cannot reach. She can't reach either. Not sure how strong he is, but maybe trying to snipe Gren here. Just gonna try to tank. Even with that, Gren should be an easy kill. She's super weak against magic attacks, and it's gonna be the Wind Blade, which is strong against flares as well. So easy kill with Gren. Maybe he'll run her back now. Oh. So I think this is gonna be turn 1 GG. As long as he can get a snipe, Z2 can jump in, follow up kill, and Lucretia can just clean up next turn with the tank. Okay, he's gonna kill Brancho. Easy kill. These soldiers almost took out the whole unit. And Zerd's just gonna kill something of his choice. And pretty much it looks GG to me. So he's gonna get counter kill. Counter kill. Lucretia can. No, she can't counter kill. Still gonna be 2 for 1. So let's say he counter kills. He ends up killing Annie with Z2. It might force Oboro to transform at 2 stacks. That way he can never get through Landius. And then he can just clean up with his units. Yep, that looks GG. Okay, that was pretty quick. And that is it for top 8. So we got top 4 starting next week. Yeah, I bet he did. It all worked out to his favor. So yeah, GG. Next week, top 4. And I'll post a schedule when they're up. So, yep, I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. See you guys later.